How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching.
All righty, let's go ahead and get this thing started. What is going on, everyone? We are the Dysfunctional Misfits. We are a group of military gamers. I think we're gonna go around the room real quick, introduce everyone, and then we'll get going into the topics and all of that. So I guess we'll start with Gage. What's up? Who are you?
What's up, guys? Mavericks Elite here. Gamer, military personnel. Uh, Play most of the time on MMORPGs. Anytime it's FPS, it's playing with these two nerds right here as well. And that's about it.
All right. What kind of or how much time in service do you have?
Coming up on 6.
6 years. Awesome. All righty. Tuck.
What's up? Never Smith, Tuck, whatever you want to call me, asshole. Um, Staff Sergeant, United States Army, 8 years time in service, playing games. Yeah, I know, 8 years. Hey, I just look at it. I go into work every day and say 12 years until retirement. So,
Hey.
uh, yeah, right now I'm up in the DC area. Used to be stationed here with Ace Sloan and known Mavericks Elite here Gage forever since high school. So it's great to be here. Great to start this talk show off. We'll turn back over to Ace.
All right. So I am Ace Sloan. You can call me Ace and or Aaron. I have 10. I'm sorry, 7 years time in service. Yeah. Um, Born a military brat. So Army's kind of all I know. Um, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here. So real quick, we're gonna go ahead and talk about a sponsor because we have a sponsor for our very first show. So again, welcome to Radio Check episode 1. So we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, our Blessed Homestead, where you can find custom shirts, signs, and organic goat soaps. And I gotta say, my wife is like a huge fan of like handmade soaps and organic goat soaps. So definitely go check them out. Link is in the description. So yeah, go give them a shout out. Tell them you saw us on the show. That would be awesome. All righty. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into who are we? Who are the dysfunctional misfits? I think it's really important to shout out the fact that I think this has been something that we have talked about a lot. Tuck, like
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated with streaming. Like I think it's something I've always wanted to do, and we've always talked about, and it it's just something that it took me forever to really execute on that, you know. And I want to say you're pretty much the founder of all this. Like you made all this happen. So I just want to say thank you.
100%.
Like
Thank
I
you very
really,
much.
you really showed me the ropes on like how to actually stream, and I never realized how much shit there is that goes into this. Like it's mind blowing, and it definitely is a skill. And yeah, so thanks for setting all this up and making this happen,
Oh
boss.
yeah, no problem for taking all your free time away and
Oh yeah.
dedicating it to
Oh yeah.
streaming.
Definitely. All right, so let's go ahead and go around the room and I kind of want to get an idea of why you guys stream. So I guess we can start with Gage. Like what does streaming do for you?
I think kind of. I mean, most people in my work know me as the asshole. So I guess it just kind of brings a different light to who I am instead of just being that guy at work who yells or just constantly doing like army shit all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
just a different aspect of my life, because I mean, obviously gaming is a big part of my life. So being able to hang out and talk to people, interact with people, and get to know other people that's not just here at home or people I see on a daily basis.
Okay. Top. How about you, man?
For me, it's really just I get bored with gaming. Like I know there's a lot of stuff to do in gaming, but I get bored
Yes.
if I don't have anything else to do, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
single player games, which I don't play a lot of because once again I get bored. But it's nice to interact with people, show other people things I'm doing. It's nice also is gaming is really a big stress reliever for me. Get escape from the world. So whenever other people maybe they don't have the newest console or maybe they're at work and can't play
Yeah.
right now, but they have a chance to
Absolutely.
look on their phone, right? So they can kind of get that escape, get that adrenaline rush, even though they're not playing. So that's why I stream. Just
Okay. So for me, it's always been like I'm already playing the game anyways, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
like I've for the longest time I used to just like I'm a League of Legends player, and I just it's just habit like I play solo for the most part. You know that League of Legends is a game that not a lot of people play already. Um, and the fact that we're going on season 10 now, like it's not going to get any better. Like it's a dying game. So no one ever wants to play with me. So I'm just a loner. um, so yeah, I'm already doing it. And the thing is like being able to interact with people while you game is I think so huge. Like you're already playing the game, so why not have fun with it? And like what I like about it is like you don't even have to be good. Like
Yeah.
content is content. Like if people laugh at you for being trash at a game, I think that's completely okay. And yeah, I think it takes up the little bit of free time I do have, having a family, being in the army, and then enjoying playing video games. So yeah, it keeps me busy. And it gives me a chance to be creative. I don't know. There's so much stuff that goes into streaming that it really is an art. So um, yeah, so that covers that. So one thing I do want to go over, everyone who is watching right now, we do have 8 viewers. I think that's incredible. Everyone should keep in mind that we all have our own gaming page that we stream to.
Yep.
We fall under the umbrella of what we call ourselves the Dysfunctional Misfits. So that's why you're gonna see us like cross posting a bunch of stuff. But yeah, who you might have a certain person you favor or you like their stream better. That we have our own streaming pages for that. Any news updates, stuff like that, radio check will always be on the Dysfunctional Misfits page. All right.
And you can get all those, each of our gaming pages, right, are in the description. So,
Awesome.
and there's links to them there as well. And if you are watching, maybe you're watching on a share and you want to ask us the questions, we don't get to see those. So you have to actually
Hmm,
click into our video
good point.
and not just on the share that's on there. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead jump into our first topic of just what it's like being in the army, and I think it's really important to give people perspective that aren't in the army, uh, and also because everyone's path in the army is completely different.
Completely, yes.
Like the army really is what you make it, and a lot of it is kind of a roll of the dice. Like you could have the same exact like job title as someone, but your path in the army and their path is going to be completely different. And I think once we get into that, you'll realize that like it's actually incredible. But so I want to go in with Gage. If you want to start us off here, basically like your path through the army in your 6 years now, like we'll say cut out like basic training. Everyone goes to basic training, but from like and AIT. So like
Yeah.
AIT first.
I mean, what's your job, right? What's your
Yeah.
job, and then
Yeah.
like what's your
So
path been?
What's life like for you?
so what he says about like everything's different in the army is I'm a 25 November, so I work with I'm a network guy. I work with communications, networking specifically, but that's what my job title entails. But my last duty station at Fort Bragg, I didn't do any of that. I didn't do my job at all. I specifically worked on radios, did a 25 uniform job. I did it for almost 4 years. Uh, um, until I actually came to Fort Campbell, where now I actually do my job. Being as great as something, being a part of something as the brigade signal team is something special. You get to work with a lot of people who experience the army a lot longer and a lot different ways than I have. Um, I mean, the army so far has been a great experience. I'm not gonna lie, it has its ups and downs for sure, especially from the units that I came from. But it's I definitely wouldn't trade any of it back because I've definitely made I've had the best experiences and I've done some of the coolest things that some people only dream of. So it's it's been a crazy ride, but I've enjoyed it.
But it's not always sunshine and rainbows, right?
It's
Like
definitely
what's
not always sunshine and rainbows. I actually kind of lucked out this week. I'm actually in a class, UMO, and unit movement officer. Basically, if we deploy, then I'll be the one making sure all the vehicles and stuff are staged and set up properly on the rails or the port or wherever.
Mhm.
Um, but yesterday, my company actually went to the field. So I got to miss out on a field this week, and they get out
Mm.
on Saturday. So
Aren't you lucky?
yeah, it's very lucky. Very. But I do have to go to the field right before Christmas time, right before my Christmas break. So
Hey, you got sometimes that green weenie just strikes, man. You know,
always
sometimes you
strike.
just gotta take it. All right, Tuck. How about you, man?
Me, okay, so 25 Bravo, same as Aaron here, Ace. Um, so what that means, right? If you don't know anything about the army, is I work on computers. So, you know, the help desk at your local business, right? That's me. I'd be the one there answering. So yeah. So I first went to a very special unit, uh, which was amazing, right? Amazing experience. It definitely was not for everyone though. So it doesn't follow the basic army rules you think of. You don't have PT in the morning. You don't have all these formations, and you're treated like a big kid. So that has a major impact on me throughout my career. Uh, just as you know, I go to all these. I'm at a different unit now, and it's a little different than I would say Gage's past path because again, this unit we still don't do PT. It's all on your own and everything. But
PT's every morning where I'm at.
yeah,
Every
see,
single morning for an hour and a half, and
exactly.
it's definitely drags you down a little bit.
Yeah, but where we differ is I did my job at my first unit, right? So I actually worked on computers, helped people. This new job I'm at now, nothing. I'm working on cyber stuff. Never even touched cyber things before now. Like now I'm in a course this week on certified ethical hacking. Like, and I am brain dead after that every day. So it's different, and I'd probably say I have the probably one of the best paths you could take in the army, just as I haven't had stupid soldiers. I was treated like a adult, right, through most of my career, uh, and yeah, I don't get treated like a little baby kid, and some of the army does. So even
I think
though,
that's one thing. I think sorry to chime in, but I think that's one thing people don't understand is just depending on where you are in the army, like it differs from how you get treated, and that's the
yeah,
big issue of probably one of the biggest issues of the army is actual being treated like an adult versus a 26-year-old kid, depending on what your job is.
well, can you imagine not going in like right out of high school and going in when you're 30 and you're a 30-year-old getting treated like a kid? That'd be
Especially
rough.
if you're a
Yeah.
30-year-old getting treated like a kid and getting told what to do by a 22-year-old who's now an NCO and not which is that's exactly what like I'm only 26, but there's a guy who's 34. He's still a specialist, and yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
like being told what to do
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
by
one of the
someone that
many
was younger than him.
challenges we have as NCOs.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Yeah.
it's not all sunshine and rainbows for me either. Definitely a lot of stress in my new job. It's a very high level command, so uh, always meetings to go to, no fail task. So in order to cope with that, a lot of time I use gaming as an outlet just to try to escape
What
everything.
a
And
what a beautiful segue. I'm gonna
yeah,
come back to that later.
you
What a
know,
beautiful segue. I fucking love it. So I'll give you my quick rundown real quick. 25 Bravo, like Tuck said. Um, Tuck and I worked together at both of our previous units, and that's how we met. And so for the most part, we did the same thing. So I'm not going to cover that. Um, I have unfortunately gone to the dark side, or we'll call it the big army side. It's not even big army; it's worse than that. But
Trade-ock.
oof, yep. So I've been fortunate enough to see both sides. Um, I will say the position I'm in now has been less technical, but more challenging. In a sense, there's a lot of things I have to balance that a typical unit wouldn't have to jump through those hoops and the bureaucracy that comes with it. Uh, but fortunately, this will be changing soon. I will be moving on to bigger and better things. So, pretty excited for that. All right. So, perfect segue. Tuck, why is gaming such a big part of your life?
Well, so I've always really been a gamer. Always kind of uh, played games, right? Like we used to have
Just
LAN parties back in the
yeah,
day, right at
Back
my
in the
house.
day. Yeah.
back in like ninth, 10th grade, LAN parties in his garage.
Yep,
Fuck that.
in my
The
Bro,
garage.
greatest times.
No, I never had LAN parties. We had the one big TV with an
Oh, yeah,
Xbox, and you had a
split screen.
cardboard box splitting the screen, bro. Play some Call of Duty or Halo. Yeah.
Cross-link cables. Remember those
Oh
things?
man. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I've always played games, always been fun, always interested me, right? But I don't know. As I got older, you get less and less time to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially you get a family, get kids. So
Boy.
yeah, I mean, I always enjoyed it, right? But now it's kind of different. I don't only just enjoy it. Instead of, some people, everyone has their outlets, right? So some people go out and party. Some people, I don't knit, right? Some people knit and play games. Gage. Anyway,
Gage, you
Hey,
knit?
first of all, I don't knit. First of all, don't insult me, okay? I don't knit. I crochet, and it's only sometimes, okay? I
Oh,
only crochet
excuse me.
sometimes.
Crochet.
It's completely different.
What do you crochet?
Uh, I mean, I haven't done it in a while. It's been in like a few months, but the last thing I
You don't have to
crocheted,
bullshit me.
the last thing I crocheted was one of my friends had a baby, and it's actually been longer than it's been almost a year. This is
Gage, what
before I
did you
went-
crochet?
I crocheted a fucking beanie, and it had ears on it, and it was like an elephant.
That,
Like it's supposed to be like an elephant thing, but it was a baby gift.
that's pretty freaking cute, bro.
I try to be. I try to
Fucking
be
dig
cute,
it.
bro.
I dig it. I did. What kind of ears was it? What kind of animal was it?
I just said it was a fucking elephant.
Oh, an elephant.
It was an elephant.
Sounds pretty hard. You know what I mean?
It's really not that bad. It's not. It's not as bad. It's not as hard as you think it is.
but yeah.
Some people
Anyway,
some people like to do all three of those.
yeah, I don't know how they do that. But anyway, back to my story is so gaming is just that outlet for me, right? So I get home after a stressful day, you know, I spend time with the family as I can, and once they go to bed, I really use gaming as just a stress reliever, right? So I can go play a couple rounds. I might even get mad at the game, but I'm not focusing on my stressful day or my stressors in my life. So that's just an awesome time for me.
Mhm.
I might have fun, right? I should always have fun. Oh, I got a kiddo here who wants to say hi. Say hi to
Oh,
everybody.
okay. Well, we got our first guest.
First guest
When is it?
appearance
Our
here.
first guest.
Say this is Ollie. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, you're just gonna wave? Okay. Um, but yeah, he. So that's just one of the great things that I think about gaming is I can come play games. Yeah, gaming and beer, right? It's like I already got my beer right here.
Mhm.
I can come play games and just really escape from life and the army problems and problems in life,
Right.
and it helps me not worry about all the other bullshit in my life.
So that something my wife would bring up if she was here right now. You said it's a good escape,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
My wife would beg to differ.
Really,
because
why is that?
because sometimes you have those games that just doesn't go your way,
It's like every game she plays.
and you may uh end your session more upset or stressed out than when you started.
But
Um,
my thing with that is though, right? But you're upset about a game now. You're not upset about that huge issue or that person that cut
right.
you off on your way home, right? So I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that anymore. Now it's a game, like, and I can
Yeah,
rationalize
different
that.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be pissed off at a game that I'm gonna end up playing another game afterwards, another match, than be pissed off about my day. Like I think it kind of the segue there.
I mean, I don't know the way I've been playing Call of Duty lately, dude. I've been pissed off all day.
Me and
Been
you
pissed
both.
off all night. I just got to the point like if I don't laugh at myself now, I just don't have fun playing Call of
Yep,
Duty, bro.
yep.
I'll go like 3 and like 18, you know.
Exactly. It's awful.
So yeah. So okay. Gage, what about you, man?
What?
Gaming as an escape, like or
Why
what
do
does
you
gaming
game?
mean to you? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I already said mine. I was the first one to go.
No,
First one to go.
no, you weren't.
Negative.
Negative.
Why
That
do I
was-
game? I game so I can remember, so I can meet other people, so I can.
No,
do
that's why
something
you
different.
stream.
Oh,
Why
watch
do you
it. That's
game?
kind of the same. Well, the reason why I game is so I can hang out with you guys. Because
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I have friends like almost a lot of places in the world now, but like nothing compares to my best friend from high school, which just left and took off, so he doesn't get to hear my amazing compliment.
Mhm.
Piece of shit. But yeah, basically just hang out with my friends and stuff from high school, and that's because we all live so far apart. So gaming is a way for me to be able to actually communicate with my friends that I don't want to lose. Because sometimes phone calls just aren't enough. But whenever you're gaming, make me and Brennan have the best time. Gunfight. When we're playing gunfight in Call of Duty,
yeah,
it's some real stuff. So I just that's basically it. Just me being able to hang out with my friends and be able to see them more and talk to them more, because that's exactly what happens whenever when you're streaming. Well, when you're gaming with them.
Okay.
Just a better experience, I guess.
Gotcha. So, do you guys find like it's really hard to find time to game, or is it something that you just always make time for? Like it,
I make time for it, like, because gaming obviously it's a big part of my life. It's a big part of,
right.
Any gamer will say it's a big part of their life. And if you're like, don't say you're a true gamer if you're the one who plays every now and then. Whenever they're just really bored. People who are true gamers, they make the time to stream, to game.
Absolutely.
To
And I want to make one
interact.
thing clear right now. If you only play mobile game
Yeah, I
phone,
was going to bring that up, dude.
you're not a gamer. If you only play, let's get that straight right now, okay?
PUBG Mobile is not a true.
I can already hear it now, but what about the Game Boy? That was a mobile. No, don't you ever put the Game Boy in the same class as a
phone.
as an app on your phone. How dare
anything
you?
that's not the app, anything that's not on your phone is like, I can see that. Especially, first of all, if you still own a Game Boy at this point and you're still playing that shit, pulling it out of your pocket
you're OG
at a bus stop because you got like 5 minutes, dude, you're the true hero.
Yo, some real shit. Like, so this is probably like the last time I was at my mom's. Like, we're just going through the basement or something, and I found a box, and in the box was my sister's old Game Boy Advance. It was pink, the pink, like, kind of clear see-through one they had. So I found that, and I freaked out. Like, I started playing that. I didn't care it was pink. Like, it was a Game Boy. Like, I'm playing it. Like, just start reminiscing. I think I was playing like Pokemon Crystal. Some good times, man.
Yeah, I was stuck on Pokemon Yellow, dude. Like that was, for me, that was the
All
shit.
of those, yeah.
Pokemon Yellow, because just having Pikachu follow you around and the fact that you can get him starting off, that was my stuff right there.
I don't know, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like Yellow for the one reason, because you couldn't evolve it. You couldn't evolve Pikachu. You could not. It took up a spot in your party, and you couldn't get rid of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just stuck with Pikachu. So
on some real shit.
He's one of the best. Oh, no.
On some real shit, that new Pokemon. Has anyone played it?
no, I have not played a Pokemon past um Ruby and Sapphire, and I refuse to.
Why do you refuse to?
I
mean, for me, I played Emerald, so that's as far as I've ever played.
I refuse to, because I was with it, the first, second, and third gen, but now we're just getting crazy, and I don't like it. There's too much. Like, it's getting ridiculous now. It made sense when I was 10. It's like, oh shit, we got 151.
Okay, Pokemon Go though. Do you play that Pokemon Go?
I did. I did. I haven't played in a long time.
I played it too. Like, no doubt.
You played yesterday, didn't you?
No, I don't play it anymore. I haven't played it since I left. Well, no, actually, I used to play it with Gwen. I got her into it, and she got obsessed with it. And then I kind of fell out of it because of work, and then she continued playing without me.
So my wife's playing the new Pokemon, and I said, oh, she asked her how it was, and she said it was pretty good, and she's loving it, right? She's really liking it, right? And just to prove how much she's liking it, I asked her, like, she was going to work, asked her, like, hey, can I play that, like, while you're at work? And she threatened to chop off my hands and force feed them to me if I even touched it. So yeah, she's loving it, and
That's pretty good.
I guess I have to go buy my own Switch if I want to play it. So
That's so crazy. Like, I try to get my wife to play Pokemon because she's interested in, like, the VR open world kind of games like that. So, like, we downloaded, like, Wizards Unite, the Harry Potter version of it. We didn't actually, like, really play it, but she liked the concept of it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, if you like this, you'll like Pokemon. Like, just give it a chance,
Yeah.
So we even bought, we got a Switch too. So we got Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't That one
I
didn't
liked
sound
it.
good to me. Okay, you liked it? Okay, fair enough.
So you haven't played it?
No, I haven't played it. It just didn't sound
Okay,
good.
so it's just a remastered yellow version,
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
it's so good. Like I like it, and
Master
it's
Yellow.
it's different in the sense that you don't get you battle your Pokemon with trainers and you get experience for that, but you don't you encounter Pokemon in the wild like you normally would, but you get experience for catching them. You don't actually battle those Pokemon in the wild. It's kind of weird.
Okay,
It's a
weird.
weird concept. It's Pokemon Yellow version meets Pokemon Go. It's pretty cool. And what's really cool is that game is actually interactive with Pokemon Go. You can sync your accounts and trade between.
Oh
It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
you can only trade it like one way though, right?
Once, one way. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty cool.
I wonder how far they can actually take the Pokemon series, like making Pokemon. Like I feel like there's only a limit of where they
There's
can
gonna
go
be a
until,
reset.
like,
Well,
100%. I've
yeah,
already
there
talked
has to be.
about that. I
There's gonna
talked
be a
about that at
nuke
work.
go off or something.
Not even that. What they're gonna do is they're gonna remaster like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Silver.
Well, they've already like they redid like silver and gold and all that. So I guess they have to work their way back. I don't know. It's getting ridiculous. Like there's
It
too
is.
too much
Eventually, you're gonna
stuff.
have like toilet-shaped Pokemon walking around and call it like flushy something,
Mhm.
and like
There's a rabbit now on the new one's called like Robit or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
getting
Like they're
it's
running
kind
out
of
of ideas.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on the Pokemon series. Yeah, I do love Pokemon, but it's definitely getting out of hand nowadays.
Right. All right. Well, we spent way too much time on Pokemon, or
No,
way more than
definitely
All right. So let's move into I guess we could talk about resiliency since we're talking about like it's a stress relief and all that. Um resiliency. Let's define that, I guess, for everyone. So
Oh,
resiliency
here we go.
is
MRT.
uh the ability to
We ain't got a week of stream here though.
the ability to bounce back from adversity, right? So with that, so for me, gaming has just always been like if I have a bad day or something, I'm just gonna go play a game. You know, like I don't know. Sometimes it makes it worse, especially playing League of Legends. If any of you out there play League of Legends, we'll have a Q&A section later. I'd love to talk about the off season and all that. I think, yeah, I think the army should look into revamping their resiliency training. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they could absolutely include that. Okay, tell me why breathing exercises are part of resiliency training.
Studies have shown that's what they're gonna say. Right? You know how
Yeah.
many millions of dollars they probably paid? I think it's who was it? Carnegie Mellon, I think they paid to do all these research on resiliency, right?
Yeah.
And I think another study came out and said it's all bullshit anyway, right? But
right. 3 years later, you know.
yeah. But anyways, if you're talking about resiliency training, right? I know someone at work that would argue with you and say, "Well, it's not the content is good,
Mhm.
right? It's what's the
It's
issue is the trainers. The trainers aren't putting the time in, right? Because we all do it. We all just do the bare minimum to do get through, check the block, and all this
check the
training,
block to yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I think a lot of it is probably just the trainers, but anyway.
I don't I've had some awesome MRT classes, and I will say, as awesome as those classes were, I don't use any of those activities in my everyday life. You know,
Hell no. Maybe
you know what I
like
mean?
where it's like name 3 things that were good today. Like I might do
Yeah.
that as a
Yeah.
conversation starter with my wife after she's had a rough day or something. You know, like
Yeah, and we all joke about it at work too, like, oh, you got to hunt the good stuff. You know,
yeah.
you gotta.
Yeah, so I had a comment. Cameron said that breathing is just a fundamental. Like I think he's basically saying it's just a starting point. You know, a starting point of getting to where like you develop your own ways of resiliency.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good point.
So basically, it's like a fallback, right? So like,
Start
if you
with
got
the
nothing
basics.
else, yeah.
Yeah.
First, let's breathe. Try to get that.
I think the first thing you
clear
say to
mind.
someone when they're like worked up, when they're overwhelmed, they're just like, "Hey, breathe, calm down, breathe," and then
Yeah.
from there, that's always step one, is just breathing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Oh, puppers.
Oh, puppers wanted to come
Our
over to say hi.
our second guest. Okay. All right, let's move on to not a lot of people know this, and I think
Thanks for the share, Bobby.
this is egregious that the Army, I think they are really doing a bad job at this. So the Army has created an Army esports umbrella um, with the goal to use this as a tool to recruit by competing in like collegiate level
Not just
um,
collegiate, they're doing pro too.
tournaments. Are they in pro?
Yeah, they're in pro
And
tournaments as well.
well, I don't know all the games. I'm sure there's probably 100 games that they're in, and so the reason why I say collegiate level is because the one I really only followed was the League of Legends team, and yeah, I think they're missing a huge
Well, so this all started with the Air Force, right? So the Air Force
mhm,
sponsored some esports tournaments. So like their ad would pop up and their Air Force logo before they switched scenes, right? And then the Army
yeah,
just took it one step farther. But I
so,
think they're doing a good job, right, on the esports team and getting the name out there of the Army,
yes,
but only at those events, right? There's not a
right,
huge presence if someone's watching the
mhm,
esports, right? They don't usually the Army, let's be honest here, doesn't make it to the finals, right? So I think they just need to do more at like the Air Force did on sponsoring some stuff with them there.
mhm.
That's just me.
So the way I see it is like we have these huge leagues, right? You got the LCS for League of Legends, you got
Mm-hmm.
the Overwatch League, you got the you got all these tournaments that have high visibility. I'm not saying we have to go compete because obviously we can't because there's licensing and stuff, franchising and stuff you have to worry about. But I'm thinking like they do put on a lot of these for fun tournaments. How awesome would it be for the U.S. Army League of Legends team to go do a scrim against an actual like LCS team?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? For especially for like Veterans Day, bro. The LCS could have cashed in on that.
No, that's
Um,
true. And the
you
LCS
know,
could cash it all, like write it all off as a tax write-off, right? Like,
exactly. So that's where my head is going like this. Like you guys want to recruit, but you're not recruiting you're trying to uh I guess like take the smallest avenue like
yeah,
if you want to recruit, you need to blast this out to everybody. Like
yeah.
so there's a very famous League of Legends player named Tarzan. He yeah, you guys probably don't know
Ooh,
who that is.
ah.
So he's known as one of the most toxic players in League of Legends. But right now, League of Legends has this is a perfect example has the Twitch rivals that's going on,
Okay.
right? So you have all the famous streamers and stuff that are making like their super teams and they compete against each other, and then Twitch is sponsoring this huge prize pool for the winning team, right?
Mhm.
How awesome and how easy would it be? Because here's what gave me the idea. Tarzan, I follow him on Twitter, put out a tweet that says, "My team is actively looking to scrim any team that's out there that wants to scrim." And that in my head was just like, and it was Veterans Day that I saw this. So I was like, duh, like, hey, let's make you're known as the most toxic person ever. Let's fucking make you look good for once, and act like you're doing something for Veterans Day. We'll bump your viewer count up. We get to throw a huge free ad out there. Um, I think it was just a huge opportunity missed. I think, and I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. They could be working on stuff like this. They just don't have the connections or something.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
but I think in esports, it's so small right now that it's not hard to reach out. Like somebody knows somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like I feel like it would be too easy.
Well, I mean, they went to DreamHack, right? That's a major
Mhm,
pro level. I think that was
mhm.
with Overwatch they went. It's I mean, I agree. They definitely are not putting it out there as much as they could be. But that could be a money thing too. The army's always hurting for money. We know that. But they could also find money. So I
I
don't
just
know.
can't imagine a world where like the LCS would not like to slap something like that. Like that's free brownie points with its community. So I don't know. I feel like, and again, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's happening and I just don't know.
Yeah, true. Maybe just
You
haven't
know,
worked out the details yet.
exactly. I mean, because it is so new. Like when I was trying out for the team last year, like it took months to finalize a team, and then PCS was people, and then like, can you imagine playing League of Legends all day as your job?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't
Do you
know.
think that's what they actually do? Like the Army's
Yeah.
league?
Well, I think they do their normal army bullshit.
I
You
think it's
know,
like they probably let them off for like part of the day to go do what they got to do. But it's like think about working all the time at that point.
no, I
Because
would
at that point,
imagine you would be treated as
So
an actual. So I imagine you would scrim pretty much all day, or you'd probably start with like a solo queue block where you're playing just solo queue into scrims, into VOD review. You know, I'm sure their job is not just playing all the time,
yeah.
and they still have their basic army bullshit to do.
I mean, they get
But
their basic army bullshit in like training and PT,
mandatory training,
all that
PT.
stuff, right? But I guarantee you, most of the day they are either talking about things to go do, right? Because I bet every
Mhm,
team has different places they need to go, right? And there's probably an
mhm,
NCUSC, OSC that's
mhm.
all on like, hey, we need to go to DreamHack, or hey, we need to go here or there.
Yeah.
But
they
then
should just
there's
make out their own MOS for gamers in the army.
Well, I
25
that'll
mean,
gold.
you,
never happen.
yeah, I mean,
25 golf.
no, 25,
25
25 goal.
gamer.
25 gamer.
I like it. I like it.
But
It'd be fun,
I
man. I
mean,
would do it.
so
I'd
I
make
do
that
have
a
a I have a buddy, or actually not really a buddy. It's someone we used to work with, Ace, that is on one of their teams. So we can always reach out to him, try to pull him in next game or next
Hmm.
stream. Uh,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I
see,
would love to hear from him what life is like there, and
yeah.
yeah, that would be absolutely.
So we can always do that next one. Maybe watch out, follow the page. Maybe we'll get a Army esports streamer in here. Uh,
Absolutely. Um. Okay. Let's. Do you guys have any concerns with like the Army esports? Like, could you see it like being a negative kind of?
I don't think it's negative, right? I think even if they go out there and they do horribly, they're still getting the Army name out there, right?
Right.
So
I
I mean,
think
I don't.
it's I I don't know. Like in my opinion, I think it's I get it. They want to have someone to like sponsor the army, and the army wants to have their own team, like their own members playing, being the ones that are playing. But I think it kind of puts the wrong aspect of what the army is. It's like they're sponsoring it, trying to get people to like a new way of recruiting. But it's like you're gonna put this person who who thinks that they're good at gaming, or say he wants to be a gamer or whatever, and so he joins the army. Then he tries
Mhm.
to get. Then he joins whatever MOS that he thinks that he can do, and then all of a sudden, half the time he's fucking busting his ass like we are all the time. And then he's like, I joined the army to play games, to
Right.
be part of a stream team, not to be a fucking fueler and be out here at 3:03 in the morning refueling generators.
Yeah, I
And
Right.
mean, I can kind of see that.
like, but I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna slide like no. If the army gave me the opportunity, if I was as good as gaming as I wish I was, and the
Mhm.
army gave me the opportunity to go to make additional money, like playing pro and get my name out there, I mean
Mhm.
that'd be setting me up for when I get out of the army.
Well, I think they're pretty transparent because it is only a 2 year assignment, right?
I think
So,
is it 2 year? I thought it was only 1 year. Maybe it is
oh,
2 year.
it could be 1 year.
Uh,
If it is, that's egregious. Like that's terrible. That's horrible.
yeah.
It's not worth it.
That's it's well, not only that, by the time you in process and everything, you get there, you build any sort of synergy with your team. Hey, it's time to PCS again. You know what I mean? Like I think it should be at least minimum 2 years. I
Maybe
don't
it
think you
is.
should. I don't think you should go over 3 though, because in the army, that's a long time to not be doing your actual job. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, it's like a recruiter gig, right? And I think they should treat them the same
Sure.
way.
Yeah, so I think 2 years is perfectly fine for something like that. And I don't know. Again, I would love to hear from the pro. But I imagine the recruiters, because I imagine they go to these tournaments, they set up a booth, at the tournament with actual recruiters, and then the team goes and just plays. Hopefully, they're very transparent about that. That hey, I I see this as just a technique to get their foots in the door of talking to people, because the way they do it now is they show up at a high school, right? And then like no high school is ever gonna take them seriously, right? But this is a good way to you set up a booth at a venue that's got 40,000 people in it, you know, and it's that people will come just flock to you. So I think that's pretty I think it's pretty cool. Um,
But is it for the right or the wrong reasons? You know, like like because like I mean I'm not gonna lie, like my recruiter wasn't transparent with me whenever I joined the army. You know, I'm pretty sure you know the same thing was with you, both you guys.
I don't
Like you
know.
know, the army, joining the army is you gotta love what you do. You know, you gotta love the people around. You gotta love what your job you do. You can't
Mhm.
just love your unit. You know, or love like gaming because I mean
I think
honestly
the
how
unit
transparent
though
are they
makes
gonna
a
be?
big difference.
It
Right.
does, but thing is, like, I mean, so far in my career, it has not made any difference of my decision at all. You know, but
So,
like, but what will
so
make the decision of mine is the fact that the people that are in it and what I and like my love of my job.
mhm.
But like the whole, but back on topic though, but the whole like gaming thing, it's like even if you like bring that up to like a recruiter of this whole situation, it's like how transparent they actually gonna be with it.
I don't know. Luckily, I was pretty fortunate with my recruiter. He was very open, very honest. Everyone always has those bad recruiter stories of how like, oh, they lied to me this, they lied to me that. I was never lied to. I felt like, but I also couldn't be bullshitted. Both my parents being in the army, like when it was time for me to go talk to a recruiter, like there was no like, uh, they didn't throw at anything at me crazy that I would have just,
I'm not gonna say they lied to me because I definitely didn't get lied to. You know, he told me it was gonna be rough. He told me all this stuff, but the thing is, I don't think he wasn't wholly transparent about the situation of the army. You know, especially for being as long as he was. Like he was a sergeant first class. I have him on Facebook actually, so
Mhm.
you know, I don't know. Maybe he'll join in on this. But
But to his credit, I feel like being a recruiter is such a hard job because you got to tell kids about a job that you've never done, you know, in the army about
Well, they
not
get these
knowing.
little videos though. They get little,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
recruitment
YouTube
videos. Come on,
videos,
you know
yeah.
those
Those
tell the truth all the
super
time.
high speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know what I mean? Can you imagine trying to be a recruiter and trying to recruit? Like, if I was trying to tell a dude about what the infantry is like, and I've only been in 25 Bravo my whole career, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then,
I mean, you definitely worked with them though. You know, like I've worked with infantrymen. You
yeah,
know, so it's like I know
well, I
I don't know
haven't
everything they
actually.
do, but like, well, I mean, all right, well, I have. So if I ever became a recruiter,
Very, yeah.
I would be able to like tell them exactly not to the T, but I'd be able to tell them as like as much as I know of what infantry does and how their actual company is. You
Mhm,
know, because I mean, like I said, I work like kind of beside them because I'm in an engineering battalion, and then
mhm,
also I'm the signal NCOIC for Second Brigade. So
mhm.
it's it's like I've worked close with them, but not like where they're doing like I'm right there where they're doing their jobs. If
Right,
that
right.
makes sense. Haven't got that chance yet or
That's
that
what I'm saying.
luck.
Like, I feel like recruiters get a really bad rap, and then a lot of it is obviously not their fault. Um,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
some of them do put some dirt bags in the army that should not be in the army, and that's 100% they should be blamed for
Did you
that.
hear that
But
story about where the recruiter put in like an autistic kid and he got to
I
basic
Yes.
vaguely
and yeah,
remember
he
this
got to
story.
basic and
Yeah.
he like had a panic attack and was like, "Where's my medicine?" And it all came out, so he's under investigation right now.
That's like that is some. How do you miss that? How
Oh,
do
he
you?
didn't miss it. The God
Oh, and
like
he
clear.
knew.
There's text clearly showing that he did that, and
I don't know which one's worse, that one or the Air Force one where uh the guy got like was it medically discharged or something like that for
Hmm.
because he missed his girlfriend in the Air Force.
oh
I don't know
yeah, I
which one,
saw that one too. Like
I don't know which one's
separation
worse.
anxiety from
Yeah,
missing his
separation
girlfriend.
anxiety. Yeah,
Oh
from his
gosh.
girlfriend, and he was so
I mean,
freaked.
okay, hold on. Let me just pause here and say my little thing. Separation anxiety is a real thing. It's a
Oh, it
real
is 100%.
mental. No, hold on. We're gonna laugh about it, right? Because yes, it's a little funny. Us, we've all been there. We've all been deployed, been away from our families. But it's a real thing. It's a real mental
Yeah.
illness, and mental illnesses can uh, can be a stereotype, right? It's hard to come out with some
Yes.
things, saying like
Absolutely.
PTSD, things like that. And I think a lot of times in the army, uh, there's a stigma that you can't come out with you need to go see behavioral health or go talk to a counselor, right?
Hmm.
And the army's trying to fix that because there was a thing and there's still a thing now. So like if you need a security clearance, one of the questions still today, have you seen behavioral health, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's one of the reasons I think that there's still a stigma on it.
Hmm.
But I think more people in the army that are active right now definitely have PTSD and just don't admit it. Right.
I would say they probably have a high functioning
Yes, I'm not
level
saying
of
it's
it.
debilitating, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying me personally, right? Uh, I've
Right.
definitely been there and like was laying in bed and I hear something on TV in another room and I like get up and like am startled, right? I've been there, done that. I've also been in bed, like my wife laying on me, my arm around her, and I've like started to choke her out. So, like I've been there, done that. I'm
Right.
like I don't have those issues now, but that is a form of PTSD, whether you want to
And I
admit to it
would
or not.
the thing is the thing with mental illness is it's you can't measure it, right, to what degree you
Exactly.
have it.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's something that should absolutely be taken seriously. But it's one of those things that it has the stigma and the bad rap because you can't measure it. You can't really tell if someone's faking it or not,
That's
which
true.
is so I think it's always going to have that stigma, and it's a shame. It really shouldn't. For me, I would say my deployments have affected me in the fact that my wife will tell you like when I got home, I could not. I was the most impatient person ever because I was so used to working at a really high rate, and that was 7 days a week for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
There was no days off, right? So, um, I did everything really fast, and I was always irritated. Uh, like I never had that like a loud noises affect me or anything like that, but I do get very I do have a very short fuse sometimes, and I
Oh yeah.
don't, and even to this day, like I can't filter that out. Like
Yeah.
I'm not patient. Everything I do is fast. Everything I do is really fast, and it irritates the fuck out of her. But we work through it, you know.
I've definitely been there too, and especially the irritation part. Like, there's some days where I'm just like,
You don't e-
I
you
don't
don't
even know
even know
why.
why.
No
Yeah,
clue why. I don't know why I'm irritated. I don't know why I'm just so pissed off right now, but I am. And it's
yeah.
hard to explain that. It's hard to talk about that with my wife, just because like I don't know why it's hard for me to talk to her about that. I'm like I'm just frustrated. Like, well, why are you frustrated? I
It's
have
like
no
I
clue.
yeah,
No clue at all.
and that makes absolutely no sense to them.
None at all.
One, because they're a woman, right? So they have to have a reason to be upset. You know what I mean? It's another topic for another day. But
I think one of my biggest things was like kind of it's the same thing as a frustration, but mine was the lack of being able to do things yourself. Because when I was deployed, it's like you're supposed to do your own job. Everyone knew what their job was, and no one really, no one like it was minimum amount of like asking for help. Because everyone knew what they were supposed to do, and they just did it. Um, but like when I got home, it was just asking for a lot of help, and I was just like you need to learn to do stuff yourself.
mhm.
Like you can't just keep asking me to help you every time when you have a problem. And that was like one of the biggest like irritable things that I was going through was every time I would sit down, like I feel like I was being asked for something more, and then I was being a lot more like irritated than I should have been, for sure, for
Do you
sure.
guys often have times where I think this is something that not exactly on the mental health area. I guess it could be tied into that. Where you'll have a bad day at work, and your wife will ask you like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And you just like, "Oh, I had a shitty day at work." And you're like, "Oh, well, what happened?" And you're just like a deer in headlights, like, like I don't
Yeah.
know how to spit out because one, I'm gonna use a lot of army lingo that she's not gonna understand, and that's gonna take me 3 hours to understand everything I just said and
Yeah.
break it down Barney style, and that's gonna irritate me even more. So it's not really worth it. So I just bottle it all up, and then I'm gonna go play some League of Legends. Probably go get more pissed off,
Yep.
and then really that is my way to de-stress. I might come to bed looking like I'm more pissed off than I was when I got on there, but it really is like my escape. But so you guys have that issue as well.
Oh yes.
How do you handle that? Like, what do you do? Maybe there's something I'm not doing right that
No, I think you pretty much. So not only is it like I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's I want to talk to her about stuff, and I think it would help me like get out of the mind or the get out of work. Because a lot of times I come home, I'm like work. Well, I'm still thinking about work, right?
Yep.
Not often I have that problem. I do a pretty good job at just leaving work at work. But
Yep.
sometimes I can't tell her, right? That's another issue I run into is there's things I
Okay.
can't tell her, right?
Right.
But no, I definitely have times where I'm like, I don't know why I was so mad at work and why work was so bad, but it just was, right?
Mhm.
No, I pretty much do the same thing. I just bottle it up and just I have to remind myself a lot, especially with my kids, that
Mhm.
it's not their fault. I need, like I don't need to be mad at them, right? I just have to
Right.
rationalize it. A lot of my stuff, I need to rationalize it, identify what I'm doing, recognize it, and then change my behavior. But you're right.
Mhm.
I just come home, try to do that as much as I can, try to get in the best mood as I can, and then let's go destroy some fools on Call of Duty. Or usually it's me getting destroyed, but
Absolutely.
you know.
Me to
But
carry.
hey, if you guys ever need to play gunfight, hit up Maverick over here because this dude is a fiend. So I think this kind of to bring this kind of full circle. Into like
I was kind of thinking about it with what y'all were saying. I think like because I actually had to like think about it and talk about it with Gwen here behind me whenever we had the conversation.
Hi,
But
Gwen.
like no, she's asleep. She's racked out right now on the couch. Uh, but I think one of the biggest things is like like even though she's National Guard, but like so she knows a little bit more. Like she understands a little more than most civilians do, even people who are spouses who are in the military. But like you try to explain your issue to them, and then they're like, "Well, why don't you just do this?" And I'm like, "You just don't understand. You can't just say
you
that.
can't. Yeah, yeah.
You can't just do that. You can't just say that." And it's like my biggest thing is like I keep it all inside anyways because I don't want to hear someone's feedback, especially about military life, because I know my unit and I know my NCLs and stuff, and I know what I can and cannot do better than anyone else that's in my world. So it's like if I'm telling you something that's about my day, then all you got to do is just listen. Like there's no feedback, there's no like ask, give me advice because I promise you, whatever you're gonna say, like it's already been through my mind and I can't
Hmm.
do it. It's
So
just some of those things you just
are
gotta
you actually able to like articulate your day? Because like I can't sometimes. Like I just can't get it out. Like
I mean, it just depends. It depends on, like I said, like I mean, like everyone's experiences for this whole thing is different. Mine is accepting feedback. Someone
Mhm.
trying to tell me how to handle my unit, how I should talk to my first sergeant, what I should
Mhm.
tell him, and I'm like, I just can't do that.
Well, yeah,
So
but you can actually get out like what went wrong in your day, right? Why you're having a
Right.
bad day. Is that what you're saying? You can actually get that out.
yeah, I mean, mostly, but the biggest thing about that is it's a rabbit hole, especially for people who don't understand.
Yeah.
Because you can tell them, be like, yeah, my first sergeant got pissed at me because I didn't get someone's 4187 done, and then they're like, oh, what's a 4187? And then you have to go through this whole rabbit hole of telling them what
So that just
a
makes you more mad.
yeah, and then you're just getting more frustrated because you're just going down this because there's a question after question after question. I mean, I'm not going. I don't discuss my day that much as much as I think I do. I don't
Mhm.
discuss it as much as I'd like to. Normally I just come home and I just say I have a shitty day, then I just
I mean, I'll say I never talk about my day. Like honestly, I don't. And it's not. It's mostly my fault because I don't know how to articulate it in a way
Yeah.
that my wife will understand. The reason being is my wife is the most like or the least technical person in the world.
I don't know. My wife
Any
might give you a run for her money.
any piece of technology, my wife does not know how to work. I promise. So that mixed with that is my job
Yeah.
mixed with army lingo that I can't break down Barty style. It is actually impossible for me to talk about my day, and it's no fault of hers. Like you can't put that blame on her,
Yeah.
but I think it does. And then it comes back to like me being impatient. So like I don't want to try to break it down, and then that just fuels my my stress even more.
Yeah.
And then me, I got to get shit done fast, or like I don't want to. It's just this rabid cycle that
Yeah.
I don't like. That this is why I game. It's like my escape from reality, and it's I think it's super important.
Yeah. So a couple things is one. Bobby says he slams back a 6 pack. That's how he gets through all that
Hey, can I
shit,
get a
right?
roll tide, baby? Hell yeah.
And
fucking roll tide,
secondly,
dude. Stop
that's
that shit.
why that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start up this page, and eventually I'd like to have a Facebook group, right, that everyone can come and
100%.
talk about stuff. But veterans understand veterans, right? We got to be there for each other.
Absolutely.
And that's so many things go on with veterans. And what you said, you don't like all this feedback. They don't know the jargon or the lingo, and that's just one of the another things that segment. What are you laughing at over there?
The fact that you had to use another lingo, like use lingo to cover up army
Jargon.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Like nobody knows what jargon is, so you use lingo.
Oh,
That's
same
exactly
thing.
what we're
I just
talking
want to.
about.
I'm talking
You
here,
know?
dude. Anyway, that's just another thing that segments us away from the civilian sector, right? And another thing is when they do make that transition, how hard it is and affects everyone's life. So that's one reason why I wanted to stand up this page. Really, is because we use gaming as an outlet, and because there are so many veterans out there that use gaming as an outlet. That's just one reason why I want to stand this up, and I think it's important.
Absolutely. And I think it's a good time to say, like, if you guys ever see us, if anyone who's watching, if you guys ever see us in a game, feel free to hop in that game.
Absolutely.
I always, every time I stream now, I pin my crossplay tag in the comments. So always
Matter
hop
of
in my
fact,
Call of Duty games.
we'll post a link to our Discord page so you can
It's
join
already
our
on there.
Discord.
Yep, it's in the description.
Boy, this man is on it today. Ain't nothing
Is
getting by
completely
him.
on it. Yeah, this man's on it.
So
Yeah, join our Discord page because
absolutely.
anytime we're gaming, we're always in our Discord chat.
And
So
if you ever need anything that's outside of gaming, right? Maybe you just want to shit post some memes, or maybe you just want to talk
Absolutely.
about something. We're gonna try to be on there as much as possible. We all have our lives. We're all active duty, but hopefully we'll build up this thing, Discord, Facebook page, everything, so we have a community around us.
That being said, every like, share, watch parties are huge. It's the easiest and fastest way for us to get a lot of views. But every share, comment, like really helps. So if you ever see one of us streaming, just stop and say hello. Like you can leave right after. Just drop a comment.
Drop
just
a comment,
like
drop a like.
drop a comment, drop a like, drop a share. You can dash. Like I don't care. Like just
if you own your
every
own
little bit
page,
helps.
you know exactly what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And
You gotta
if,
pad the
if
stats.
and if you want support as well, no, don't like. I'm not gonna say comment it on our live stream, but don't feel free to send us a message to any of us individually to our personal pages or to Dysfunctional Misfits, and we'll even give you a shout out. Just doing the same.
Absolutely. And like if you ever see a streamer, a gaming streamer, just drop a share. Even if no one on your friends list gives a shit, drop a share because one, it means the world to him, and two, it's free. Why not? You know what I mean?
You'll
So
make someone's day.
like, dude, it's huge. Okay, that was a really good segment. Let me go through here.
I think it's time to get into some gaming news.
Gaming news. What okay, so we all have our perspective games we like. Uh Mav, you had I guess a huge update on the
Hold on one second. Let me play our news little soundtrack here.
Oh, you got one? All
right. Breaking news here on gaming. Okay, go for it.
All right. So what's up in the world of Warcraft?
Right. So not even just World of Warcraft. I'm big on a lot of MMORPGs. Like that's mostly where I fall around. I play a lot of FPS games, some RTS games. I play a lot of everything. That's exactly why I'm not extremely good at a certain type of game because I play a little bit of everything. But some of the big things that I did that I know that's coming up that at least I'm excited for, and some things that a lot of people who do watch my stream and people who I play with are excited for. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, the PvP is opening up on December 10th. December 10th, they're having Warsong Gulch and Alarak Valley will opening up, and that will be the start of something beautiful because this is exactly what everyone's grinding in World of Warcraft 4 for that level 60, so they can completely destroy in PvP. It's one of the probably the best aspects of World of Warcraft, not just the leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely huge, and it's definitely something I would recommend if you are someone who plays World of Warcraft Classic. Then go ahead and get yourself an account and get yourself to level 60. So the fact that you can actually play along with us.
As far as I know, that's a pretty big grind, right? You don't just like get to level
Level
60.
60 is a huge grind. So
Mhm.
just a heads up, everyone. I've been playing it since about a week after it came out, and I have one level 60 character that I worked on, but once I got in level 60, I kind of stopped, and then I got another one. I got to level like 21. I mean, I've seen people who there's videos on YouTube, people getting it in like 30 days. No, but that's a huge grind. That's 10 plus hours a day
And
playing.
this battlegrounds thing, right? It's just on WoW Classic.
Yeah, so yeah, it's only on WoW Classic. So if you play regular World of Warcraft, then it's already out.
Okay.
All of it's already out. But WoW Classic is so far basically the new thing at the moment for Blizzard,
Mhm.
and Battlegrounds is kind of where it's at. Battlegrounds PvP has always been the big thing in
Mhm.
World of Warcraft. It's where you get the best gear, earn the most gold. Get the any kind of tokens and stuff, which there's a lot to be had in the old WoW. So but
Okay.
definitely check it out. And like I said, if you want to try World of Warcraft, it's MMORPG. It definitely has a lot of detail, a lot of graphics. You don't need a lot. You don't need an awesome computer to play it. No, you just need any kind of basic computer will play World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Um,
I have
so
never played World of Warcraft. I can say that.
I played the free trial once, like to like get halfway, or what is it, level 20 or something on on the
yeah,
normal one.
Mhm. I think
which
for me it was
also
always too expensive.
Yeah.
me going to throw that out there as well. So on the World of Warcraft, the original one, the one that goes up to Battle of Azeroth, it has so far WoW has I think it's like 7 expansions now. So it's a big game. It has a lot of space in it, but you can play free up to level 20. Just give yourself a you know an outlook of what the game's like before you actually spend money on it. And I actually think they have deals going on near Christmas time where you
Mhm.
get all the expansions and the entire full game for roughly like $40 or something like that. So it's pretty crazy.
Nice.
All right. Any other games you play, Gage, or is that really all you got news on right now?
So I mean, I
Bro,
can
I got
cover the
I
next one.
Okay.
I can cover the next one
oh,
here. So, oh wait, oh you can chime in.
big. It's a
So
big talking point,
it
bro.
is a
It's a big
huge
talking
talking
point.
point.
It's a
So
big talking point.
we've all played PUBG. Even Aaron here, who doesn't play very many first-person shooters, right? Or
I,
he
I
he
don't I
played third
don't
person.
like battle royales. I'm
Well,
not good
yeah.
at.
Okay. So they're finally on December 18th, right? They're finally removing uh
I'm so
paid
excited.
paid loot crates from PUBG.
Interesting.
So
It's the biggest marketing thing that online like battle royale games are using right now. A lot of games have them. Apex Legends, PUBG, um, Black
well,
Ops 4.
don't get it mixed up
Well,
though. You can still get loot crates, right? They'll just no
mm,
longer have a lock on them. So they'll still have random loot crates. Just all of them will be free to open.
Yeah, so it's something like you can't just buy money to put in loot crates to get like these awesome things. Which I think honestly, this is a huge thing. It's a huge deal, and I honestly think it's great. I think the fact that they're taking it out is
but
awesome.
but the loot crates were never like pay to win, right? Like it didn't
No,
make your
it's all
weapon stronger.
cosmetics. All
Right,
So
right.
cosmetics.
So
yeah,
what's your opinion on if it's just cosmetic? So like the way League of Legends does the same thing with skins. Like does it bother you that because the way I see it, they have to make money on the game somehow, right? To
So,
keep it going.
but
so
PUBG
people
isn't free to play though.
Uh,
PUBG is free to play.
no, it's
Oh
not.
no
It's
no no!
it's
Buying the
thirty
game, buying
dollars.
the game itself. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Right, but I think you still have to generate money after you purchase. Like every game has it, right?
Yes, yeah. It's
I
just
mean, a
where we
lot of
at today.
games generate money. Like there's a lot of games that are free to play, or that like are one time purchases, and then they're booming.
Mhm.
Because they have tournaments for them. They have other things that generate profit towards that company that
Mhm.
isn't just putting like people dropping $10-$20 here and there. Which if 10-20 bucks it doesn't sound like that much, but if say if how many was it? So if I think it was like what was it like there was like 17 million people who bought PUBG when it first came out, and those people like if everyone put $20 in, that's a huge profit for that company just over like some skins,
Mm,
which I get it. Like if we were in their shoes, like that's a like I would
So
100%
it
agree
was
with it, but
there's like right now what I'm seeing is 50 million copies sold. of PUBG. But back to your question, Aaron, is cosmetics okay as long as it's not pay to win, right? Or loot crates okay?
Mhm.
I believe so, right? But my frustration is if there's one thing I want. So there's like I don't care about anything else in all these loot crates. There's this one item I want. I think I should be able to go buy that directly. As long as I can do
Mhm.
that, and as long as I can earn the randomized loot crates through just playing the game, and it's not purchase only, even if it's a
Mhm.
grind, even if I have to play 50 games before I can get one, right?
Mhm.
I think those are the two requirements I have. And
And I like how you put that. It's a better way than when I put it. So yeah, so like if people who don't know what the loot crates are, so it's random generated items like cosmetic items, skins for weapons, skins for your character, different like stickers, different things like that. And a loot crate is random. So say if you drop $20 and you get 5 loot crates, well you're gonna get five, and you really want this one skin to make your character look amazing, just perfection. Well, that $20 will get you 5 loot crates that are random. You have 5 chances to get that item, but the chances are very slim depending on how many items are picked, like
Mhm.
deciphered from that loot crate. So I mean, so what you're saying, yeah, like if I could buy that one skin, one time purchase, and get that skin like directly, then yeah, then that would be fine. But like actually, no, it's like it's gambling basically. You're
yeah,
gambling.
exactly.
Mhm.
You're completely gambling whenever you buy loot crates. When you put your own hardworking money towards a loot crate, you are gambling your money away to an item that you may or may not get.
What's your opinion on Aaron?
I don't know. So playing League of Legends, my whole the last 10 years basically, I think my idea of it is a little skewed because the way they do it obviously is the game is itself is free to play, but obviously they have to make money somehow, right? So you can buy you can unlock all the champions free. It takes a lot of games to do that, like a long ass time. Um, but you can spend money on RP to buy champions if you don't have them unlocked already. On top of that, you can buy skins that are just purely cosmetic. And honestly, like when they came out with skins, everyone thought it was just going to tank because why would you pay money to have a skin that does nothing for you other than looks?
And
Well,
if I remember correctly, the store crashed, and only like one person bought one thing, and everyone
yeah,
else was like trying to go in there and buy stuff, and the store just completely crashed, right?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Because and they actually have an awesome documentary about League of Legends on Netflix, which
And
is
that's
crazy.
where I watched this.
Yes, it's actually it was actually really cool.
Now that you mention it,
So it took off. It turns out people will pay for in-game content for free games. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Which
it's
I'm the
pretty
same
cool.
way. Like, if you're going to give me this game to play, right, I expect you to try to make money somehow, right?
I think
So,
one of the biggest things about it was like a big thing of is like streamers, like PUBG for instance. So Shroud was a big idol in PUBG. You know, he's a big streamer, and whenever he started streaming PUBG, eventually they came out with like actual cosmetics that supported Shroud. So if you bought it, part of that purchase goes towards Shroud, you know, and pays him. Which
Mhm,
obviously he already makes a crap ton of money, but thing is that money is what keeps us watching our favorite streamers, you know.
mhm,
So I understand that part. That part right there would be like that would be the big changer if if no, all these others, like if all loot crates and stuff include that, like if you
mhm,
bought a loot crate to get a specific to like get randomized pieces of a certain streamer's gear, then that'd be a different story because you'd be
yeah.
supporting a streamer that you liked, you know.
mhm,
But doing it to like the gambling way to get over like 300 different cosmetics and you're gambling to try to get that one. I mean,
mhm.
that right there
Well,
just seems wrong.
here's another take on this because I kind of like the idea is like if I get something random, I want it to be a really rare item. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't want everyone to have the ability to get it. So what League of Legends does is they release seasonal skins for a short period of time that you can actually buy that skin. If you miss out, you miss out. It goes in the vault.
I
Yeah,
mean, there's a lot of games that do that. I
that's
know Heroes of the Storm does that all the time. I have many skins on there that are seasonal
Mhm,
that are no longer like I think back in like 2010 I think is probably the oldest skin that I have that most people don't have because I was just playing on the right day, you know,
mhm.
the day that
Yes.
just an anniversary.
Sometimes, yeah, like on an anniversary of a skin, they'll bring it out for that day only, and you gotta buy. So I like that. Like, I want there to be some like one. If I'm gonna spend money on something, I
You want
want
it
it
to
to
be
be like kind of
unique.
exclusive,
Yeah.
kind of like yeah, like I really gave a shit to buy this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is understandable.
I think that's
I
important.
think League of Legends model is really good, right? Because you can get crates and unlock stuff randomly, and then
Yeah.
you can also buy it directly. My only thing is, where is it okay for them to sell these champions, right? When one of them may be better than the other one, is going to completely crush him, right? But what they have on the free rotation
Hmm.
is awful,
So
right?
I will say yes because one, if you don't know, you probably shouldn't be playing ranked anyways. So you're going to be in a
Well,
public match and it's going
oh
to be
yeah,
for fun, right? So I think it doesn't matter. I think that matters more to when you get to the competitive side of the league. But by then, you have enough games on your belt. You probably already, if you really gave a shit about ranked and all that, you've already got all the champions. You know what I mean?
yeah. Which,
Um,
but what you're saying is what I heard you say, at least how I kind of construed it was, oh, if you're not playing ranked, then you don't fucking matter, right?
yes.
So,
Which that's
oh,
what
so a public game, me just playing for fun, I shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have as much fun. I should totally get crushed on by people who are playing public matches for fun, who that do play ranked.
I think you're probably a new enough player to where you don't know.
and
They,
I so Fortnite's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
So Fortnite has a huge competitive base on it, but thing is like you know like there's only let's just say there's only like if the say there's like 1,000 actual like pro Fortnite players. Well, there's about 100 times that of casual players.
Mhm.
So their base is gonna be more on the casual players than the actual no the actual competitive players.
But
It's
as
kind
far as I know, like the thing about battle royales is there's no MMR, right? You just jump into a game with a random 100 people, right? So regardless of what their skill level and ladder ranking is, right?
no,
yeah, I
no,
don't
no.
know. I don't know.
They have a ranking system now. It's
Right, right.
recently it's been this year. I
Mhm.
think it was earlier this year, but now they have it where you there's a it's point based. You get so many points
Right,
for
right. But
a point
you
per kill, and then so many points for winning the game, and that puts you in a different like
bracket probably.
bracket of like actually playing against other players.
But it's possible probably to still queue up and find somebody in the lower brackets just because it takes 100 people to fill up a queue. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get people outside of your skill level when you have
I mean,
that big of a
yeah,
pool.
probably. I mean, regardless though, like like it's like one of those things where like say if you were gold one and you were gold one in league and you're
Mhm.
playing with us and we were silver four and then we played 50 games today and then you went down to gold five. Obviously you'd be matched with people who are in silver one, silver two. So it's
Right.
like it's like yeah, your skill level. No, we know your skill level. We may have
Mhm.
brought you down a little bit, but your skill level is going to be it's the same thing when they play the
Right.
four
Right.
v the
But
teams.
well, what I think that's um the reason why I say I think it's okay in league is because league does a very good job at matching you with your skill level of players. So if you're playing with a bunch of people who don't know how to play the game, one you're not really you're one at that point you're still learning the game. So matchups and who's stronger right now in the meta doesn't really matter at that point. So I feel like in League of
Unless you're
Legends,
smurfing
it's
face.
in that sense for League of Legends, it's okay because it's just a public match anyways, and it doesn't count for anything. It's just every public match game is a practice game, so I think it's okay in that sense. The thing about PUBG is it's always a ranked game if you think about it. Always, you're always
Or
climbing
is
the
it always
ladder
for
or
fun?
dropping. Well, for me, every PUBG game is for fun. I never have fun playing it, but so
I think I think one thing I like about League, I like their whole the I forgot what they're called. Help me slow it. It's like when you hit the button and it shows you um like your skill with that character.
Your
oh
rank, your
no, it'll
character rank.
show you. It's got like your
Like
statistics for
yeah, like so say if
your
you
mastery, if you will.
get mastery levels, there you go. So one thing I like about that is that the fact that you can actually show off your mastery level, how good you are with that player. The good
Mhm.
that champion. I thought that was always a good thing that they added.
Yeah.
Basically, if you get an S plus on a character, then you get a token of that character, and it takes so many tokens of that character to level up to mastery, and then you can go from like mastery 4 to mastery 5,
See,
and
none
then
of that matters to me because I use Smurf accounts and I play on them. And
I know you do.
But another cool thing about Riot or the creators of League of Legends is that I don't know if you guys have seen the League of Legends 10, all the new stuff they're coming out with. So they're coming out with a FPS. Or
What?
they're coming out with a first-person shooter that looks like, from the demo, it's like a cross between CS:GO, League of Legends, and Overwatch. It's like a weird
Well, it's
mashup
like
of those two.
using the League of Legends like background, right? Or their story and their champions. And it's gonna be like Overwatch and CS:GO mixed. Is what I yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
really I don't know. It's like 95% Overwatch though, from what I see.
Oh yeah, because you have your own abilities and stuff
Yeah.
that are. It looks pretty, but you're running around with a gun. It looks so weird, dude. Like
Yeah. Well,
it looks bizarre.
They came out with a bunch of stuff whenever they had their 10-year anniversary, right? So they had like there's a TV show they're coming out with or something. The first person shooter. There was another game that you were coming up with too.
TFT is huge right now. They're redoing TFT. Which I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play TFT at all.
Yeah, I played it once. It's like Dota Auto Chest, if anyone knows that.
Yeah. I like it. I'm not good at it. It's way harder than the Auto Chest.
I'm awful. They also announced it's coming to mobile, right? League of Legends going to mobile.
Yes. Yeah.
Like all this is old news though, right? End of October or something. They announced all this.
Yeah. But I don't think most of it's coming out till 2020.
Yeah, I think it's all. Was it Project A? Is it? That was the first person shooter.
Yeah.
Project. What was the Project F? Was the other one? It's an action RPG game. Is the other one they said that they were going to come
I think
with.
somebody was saying it was something like Diablo or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a Diablo type.
Diablo-esque kind of.
Yeah. It's called Project
They're
F
doing
right
a lot.
now.
You think it's too much? Do you think they're trying to get too crazy? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I think, like you said, League of Legends is dying, right? It's 10 years old now, and they haven't really done anything with it.
Out.
Yeah, they're branching out, right?
Like, and I honestly think a Diablo kind of like that kind of gameplay from like their characters that they have. I think that would be a brilliant idea.
I agree
Absolutely.
with that. My issue, right, is
Diablo is kind of a dead game though.
No, negative.
They're just announced Diablo 4. That's huge news.
Diablo is very competitive.
10 years to bring out a new game.
Yeah, the space, right? So who else plays, like, how many games are in the Diablo type space? You got Diablo and you got Path of Exile.
Yeah.
What other games are there? There's not really any. I think Project F will be good for them, right? My issue is the first-person shooter they're coming out with, the Overwatch-esque, right? Yeah, there's only Overwatch for role-based shooters, but there's so many shooters out there, and they're just now coming to the game.
Oh, and I think that it's not only a it's that first-person shooter is also like a battle royale-esque game too. So it's
whoop-de-doo, right?
I mean, they're trying to cash in on all the what's all the rave right now.
Speaking of battle royale, so
I'll bring it up.
Okay, here you go. I'll let you take over then.
All right. So after the recent release of Modern Warfare, the new Modern Warfare, they're thinking about coming out with a battle royale for it.
Well, so
I will stop playing.
You'll stop playing. You don't have to play that game mode, so it's not really the thing about. So
no, because it's gonna pull the player base. It's gonna take forever to get into a game. The
data
game
miners,
shit.
some data miners found some hints at a battle royale mode. Right, so it was.
I'm disgusted.
I'm
so done.
I guess it would be. I think as long as they keep it the same way, because like we can already say that like this Modern Warfare is just like the old Modern Warfare. The Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. I think it's more realistic. I think the way that the weapons shoot, like obviously it's a point blank. Where you aim is where your gun is gonna shoot. I think in an aspect that's gonna be the worst part of it. It's not gonna be like as realistic as a Battlefield. With like the actual drop shots and stuff.
PUBG.
Like if they don't, in PUBG, if they don't add the drop shots in the actual.
Well, have you noticed though there is some drop shot though?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now.
I only see that when I'm sniping and like And plus, like the only time I ever see is whenever you're shooting in the air trying to hit an aircraft. Is when you see the drop
And let me
shot. You
caveat:
know?
I'm not saying like I'm done playing Call of Duty. I'm done with battle royales.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I think we're beating this fucking horse to death. I think it's time to
But
move
people
on.
are still playing it, right? PUBG is still coming out with stuff. Apex Legends is still thriving.
But
You know,
because
it's still
because the
there.
fact that it's so much different than just like because it's people you have a world to explore instead of just having this base. This little like it's like us being on fucking what's it called um what's that small ass map that I hate on Call of Duty?
Rust? I don't know. Which one?
Rust? No, not the old Call of Duty. This new Call of Duty.
Oh,
The one with the it's very small. It looks like a paintball.
Oh, you talking about Speedball?
oh, Speedball, yeah.
No, not speedball.
The
King?
gunfight map
Gunfight map, right?
No, it's not a gunfight. It's the one
Oh,
with
you're talking
the
about that new
shoot
one they
house
just came out, Shoot
or
House?
shoot house. Yes. So shoot house. Okay. It is probably one of the worst maps I ever thought that would ever exist in Call of Duty. But it's like think about playing an entire like what they said. Hey, this right here is what we're gonna. This kind of shoot house is what we're gonna have the competition in, and that's what we're gonna be playing on. All the teams are going to, or you have all the teams on a huge ass fucking island and they can explore, they can get different weapons, and it's not just like camping around corners. Like I think that
Um,
would be a brilliant idea, especially
yeah.
with the way Call of Duty is now
So,
currently made.
did you play the Black Ops 4 Battle
Yes,
Royale any?
I played it with you,
Okay. Did you like it?
piece of shit.
I don't remember.
uh,
I only played a couple games. I didn't care for it, right?
Mhm.
So there was like,
I liked it to an extent.
yeah, so, but I'm more of into like the Apex Legend and PUBG type of Battle Royale. So Call of Duty always implements the perks, right? So instead of just having weapons laying around you have perks you can find, right, and use, which I'm just not a big fan of. So the data miner also found new perks and new kill streaks that are supposed
Hmm.
to be used in this thing, which
I mean, I feel like that'd be the same thing as using the abilities and the ultimate on Apex Legends.
yeah,
It's
but
like with
if
Apex Legends, you have
I see like a bloodhound, I know, oh, his ultimate is this and he can do this. Now, but with this, what was some of them? Like you could turn invisible with one of the perks or whatever on the Black Ops 4 one. How is that fucking fair? Because you found this, you got this edge, right? Like instead of just weapons.
I'm not gonna say it's fair, but I think it adds some little bit of like mysteriousness to like that battles.
It's
Is
RNG. That's all it is. It's
like
Yeah.
RNG.
you don't know what people have. Like
I
it's
am.
if I come at you in Apex and I see your Bangalore, I know exactly what you have. I know exactly what you do.
Mhm.
And I know exactly how you move. I probably know how your play styles are going to be like
I'm gonna
because of
say
the specific you're a specific player. But in Call of Duty though, and Black Ops 4, like I'm not gonna say I was a fan of it because I definitely wasn't. I played it for like a weekend and I quit. Okay, because I was not good at it. But like when I was playing it though, it was different. The different loadouts you can have. You can literally switch at any point in the game without just switching weapons. You could be a completely different person. You could be one person now, and then the next town picking up different ability. What are they called? Perks.
Perks.
You
Yep.
can you could be a completely different player at that point and have a completely different play style. You know,
so.
you're not set in stone.
Here's one thing about RNG in games. I think game creators love it because it creates a sense that anybody can win regardless of your skill level,
Mm.
right? So that
Oh, I
shit
do get that.
sells. As the competitor gamer in me says that's bullshit. If I'm a superior player, I should win every single time. You know what I mean? Or at least 65% of my games I should win. So I think when you add Call of Duty esque stuff like perks and stuff like that, I think you're taking too much RNG. I'm all for PUBG dropping in looting houses to get equipment. I think that is 100% fair. I think
Yep.
that's enough RNG for me. Um, but when you start adding perks and stuff like that gets a little busted.
I think
Is
it
it kill
changes the
streaks?
place.
Can you pick up kill streaks in that, or you have
I
to
think
earn the
you
kill
have to
streaks by
earn the
getting
kill
kills?
streaks.
But how do you choose your kill streaks?
That's a great question. I don't know. You may kind of
Yeah.
like have a loadout at the very beginning.
Hmm.
I haven't played it
I
enough
haven't. I mean,
to know.
yeah, I haven't played it a lot either, but that's my guess. That's what I think they would do.
I mean, I will say I do like the kill streak. Um, idea because it would encourage people not to camp,
Yeah.
to actively go out and seek people. Like I
Yeah,
think
that's interesting part.
I do like that, but the whole perk thing, I think that's bullshit.
I think that
Another
would encourage. I don't know. I think the whole kill streak thing would encourage camping because think
Mm.
about how many people camp like in a lot of the other games. Like a lot of people will camp like a certain city or whatever. I think if you're camping, then you have like especially if you have a better like know the positions of where the circle's gonna
Yeah,
land,
that's a
then
little
like that
different
would
though.
encourage.
Knowing like
Yeah.
camping for kills, right, versus camping just to last to the last circle to win, right?
Mhm.
Because if you camp for kills or go after kills, right, you're more likely to get those kill streaks, and therefore if you get down to the last match and there's only you and one other team and you have all these kill streaks and the other team doesn't have any kill streaks, who's more likely to win, right? So
All right, just real quick. Keith says I heard that Aaron actually likes dudes. Um, can confirm.
can confirm. I mean, I would agree. I've been
100%.
like
100%.
living with him before, so you know.
I'm just I don't. I'm just gonna let. I'm gonna agree.
Here's a
I'm
weird
gonna
thought.
agree with it.
Has Call of Duty always called? I'm going back to World at War.
Okay.
Was it really called Nazi Zombies, or did we just assume that it was Nazi
Oh,
Zombies?
that's a good one. Like I know, like in today's
Oh,
age, I
In today's PC world, right? I don't know.
yeah.
I had this thought in the shower one day, and like I was
no,
stuck
it
on
was
it
called
all
Nazi
day.
Zombies.
It was called Nazi Zombies.
It
Why
was
do you
called
think?
Nazi Zombies.
Why do you think
Because
they
it
changed
was
it?
Nazis. Because
It was Nazis.
so in
Right,
World
right.
at War it was Nazis, right? And then I think they
Nice
didn't
shirt too. Thanks,
expect.
thanks, Keith.
I didn't think. I don't think they expected it to get that large, right? I don't think they
Oh,
expected
I'm
it to
sure.
blow up. Everyone loves zombies, right?
Yeah.
So whenever they move to the new type of gameplay, well, they can't call them Nazi zombies anymore. They can't have Nazis running around in Modern Warfare. So
Yeah.
they pulled it out and said, okay, well, we'll
My
just
next
call it
question is a
zombies.
little. What do you think they called in Germany? Because I know Germans played it, and
Ooh,
and that's what got me thinking. Because used to be stationed there, and like they are very
yeah.
sensitive on that word. So I always wonder. You think they'd be happy about it? You're in there, you're killing Nazis, right? You should hate. You should hate that.
I'm
I don't
just
know.
saying, whenever
Sort of
I used to
sensitive
play that
subject.
game and I used to match with a lot of different people, I played that game like a fucking like it was a religion.
Okay, let me
And
ask you this: did you only play for zombies, or did you actually play like the multiplayer?
I was 100% multiplayer. The only time I played zombies normally was whenever I was playing with like Britain or like we got really bored. But I'm telling you one thing, like you met some German folk in there. Like they don't, I don't think they care. You know, I'm
So
pretty
so
sure.
you're telling me you play World at War multiplayer over COD 4?
Okay,
Because they
so
kind of
I
I
gotta.
wouldn't say World at War multiplayer
hmm.
um, over COD 4
Hmm.
because I mean COD 4 has multiplayer that's not like it has its own multiplayer, not just the battle royale. So I think I play
Mm.
COD 4 multiplayer over World at War multiplayer. I wasn't a big fan of World at War. I didn't like the way that the mechanics were.
No, World at War sucked. Like I'll be honest, World at War the era was like none of the guns really exciting and all that. Like Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare was by far like up and away the
No, Modern Warfare 2 was where it was at. Modern Warfare
no
2.
no
Even
Modern
Modern
Warfare
Warfare 3
was
was really good.
no stop.
Modern Warfare 2 had a bunch of controversy on it, man. That was
Well, that's
that was
gonna end it for us, guys. We're starting to talk nonsense. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I know I'm off screen right now, but I've been listening. So to answer your question, in Germany, right, they completely removed Nazi zombies
That's
from World at War.
interesting.
So just to answer your question for everybody that was watching and had that question, yeah, they completely removed it. They said, hey, we're not even. I figured they would just do a name change, right? Like, heck, make
Just
two
called
versions
zombies.
of the game. But yeah, they instead of making two versions, they just completely removed Nazi zombies.
That's so crazy to think about because you think they would leave him like fuck yeah we're killing Nazis, you know?
Yeah, no, that
No,
would mean they're killing their own people, right?
was not. Whoa, okay,
Well,
we're
I'm
not
just
going.
saying. I mean, Germans were
not every
Nazis.
bro. I'm like 65% German.
Well, I'm sure one of your ancestors was a Nazi, and we probably killed
Oh,
him. So,
we're going
Well,
there,
I
huh?
mean, apparently he deserved it. Okay,
I mean,
I'm just
We're
glad we're on
going.
the same page.
just saying.
I mean, it's Yeah, it was something I thought about in the shower one day. I was like, one of those deep shower thoughts, and it's like, wow, dude, I don't know. What I love is he actually like Googled it. That's pretty awesome. So,
Yeah, I did too. I looked it up. I had
yeah.
to. I had to.
All right. What else do we have on the agenda? I think we're getting
That was the
towards
last
the
thing. The only thing that we had left
end.
was to. I was just gonna mention that the Age of Empires 4 that's coming out.
Yes.
It's supposed to be fucking booming. It's gonna
Never
be great.
played. So
Never played Age of Empires?
I was a Age of Mythology kind of guy.
I
used to
played Age of
love.
Empires 1 and 2.
I was a nerd. Like I used to love like Greek and Egyptian
Mythology was really
mythology.
good.
Yeah, it was.
That was a really good game.
Okay,
I mean,
so when is it
Civilization.
supposed to when's it supposed to come out?
Uh,
Do you have that right there? I'm gonna get
No, I
the trailer queued up and we can play it on stream here.
Okay.
But yeah, let's.
Filler.
but I know they're not supposed to include any microtransactions in this game. So, because I know some of the purchases is just you actually have to play and win matches and earn XP in matches to level up as your profile, and that's how you unlock. You get what you need to unlock other different types of races and stuff, different colonies. So
Okay.
and I know that they're not allowing any microtransactions to buy that kind of stuff.
How
So
long has
basically,
how long has it been since the last one came out? It's been a hot
That's
minute.
a good question. Yeah, it has.
I
been a
wonder.
minute.
I wonder why they are trying to revive.
But I played a lot of Age of Empire 2, and that was like the go-to one. And
Mhm.
I really didn't get into 3 at all. And
I
even
didn't either.
today, I played not that long ago. I mean, whenever I was at Fort Campbell, I'd
2005.
play. 2005 was Age of Empires 3.
October 18th, 2005 was when Age of Empires 3 came out.
Wow, so over
Yeah,
10,
so it's been a while.
14
Yeah, I
years.
can't relate.
I mean, but that's a big difference though, because Civilization, Mythology, they've been dominating those RTS games for a while.
Well,
Especially Civilization. I think they're on number 6 now. I think they're on number 6.
Let's not just leave out Command and Conquer and Red Alert and all that.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this video for you guys. Everyone here. I mean, it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand is it's supposed to start before, like when you start out, you're supposed to start before you did in Age of Empires 3, and then supposed to end, you're supposed to go I guess technology, actual modern day.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting.
I think it's gonna be a great game.
I just don't know if I would take the time out of my Call of Duty to play.
Well, we're gonna have a stream on this. I'm committing that now. We gotta have a stream on this.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Fair enough.
I think I'm gonna be sick that day. I don't know. I feel it. I feel it coming on. I don't know.
That's funny.
I can't wait to get to play it. One of us got to get it and stream it.
So when's it supposed to come out again? Did you ever answer that question? I know you said it wasn't supposed to include microtransactions. But
it says late 2020, so it's gonna be a little bit.
Oh, what the fuck?
A year away. Yeah.
Which also
that was a good waste of time, guys. Good job.
I mean, that was really pre-alpha footage there. That was barely anything. An army attacking a town, right? So I wasn't expecting much there, but still something.
Which brings me to a new topic about release dates. Halo Reach is coming to PC.
Yes.
And I cannot wait.
Trash.
Don't even start trash talking Halo.
Don't. That was what got me and Submit together right there.
Trash.
was our shit.
Halo 3 was really
There hasn't been a good Halo game since Halo 3.
Okay.
And I will say Reacher's okay. They just try to get too Call of Duty with it. Like it was I, the story's fine, everything's fine.
So the set release date for Halo Reach on PC is December 3rd. So in 13 days,
Don't buy that
which
trash.
I am stoked
Don't
about.
support Bungie and their wait, Bungie
It's
didn't
not
make
Bungie anymore. Bungie
yeah,
made
Bungie didn't make Reach. Hey, up to Halo 3.
I don't know. Bungie may have made Reach though.
Did they? I don't think so. I think they
Uh,
I want
everyone's
to say
like
they were out.
Bungie. Yeah, it was Bungie.
Hmm.
But I don't remember. I think the first game they didn't make was like Halo
Was it
4.
4? Okay.
I think.
Anywho, trash. Don't get it.
Oh, but
Nobody's gonna
what
be
about
playing
this
Reach.
new Halo Infinite? Right. We still don't know a lot
I,
about it. It's supposed to come out fall 2020.
I haven't kept up with any of the Halo. I'll be honest. But the fact you told me Reach is coming to PC, I'm not looking forward to it. So
You're not even gonna check it out.
no, I did think about getting Madden for PC since I have a
Oh
controller.
God,
Bro.
no.
Yeah, I'm
All
one of
right,
those
so
guys.
let's go inside this topic, okay? Because
Okay, are
we gotta go
sports
inside this topic.
gamers, people who play sports games, gamers, right?
No, that's not even the question. I like
Oh, God.
I like for me personally, it's like I don't care, you know.
Well,
It's
guys,
like, as long as you're
we're coming
playing
up
and you're doing what
on.
you like
I
to
think
do,
it's time to go ahead and cancel. I'm just kidding.
then I think that's fine. I think it's completely fine. Like if they want to play sports games, whatever. But the thing is, like I feel like sports games aren't really like a game. They do not compete against the same thing, the same level of what like we play.
I mean, do gamers have to be nerdy as fuck? Like, do we have to fit this stereotype in this fucking cast? I feel
No,
like
I'm not talking about. I'm
you're
not talking
game
about they're not.
shaming right now.
I'm
You're
not saying
game
they're not
shaming.
gamers. I never said they weren't gamers. I said the skill level. You
You're
know,
game.
because
You are
like
game
I'll
shaming.
see some of these fuckers at work and they'll be like, "Yeah, bro, like play me Madden 2019." I'm like, "It's a fucking football game. Like who
You
gives a
still gotta
fuck?"
be. It's still its own
How do you
game.
have to
Like
be
you gotta
good?
be good at it. You can't just pick it up and be like,
So I played Madden. Like I don't know how much has changed since then. I haven't really looked at shit, but I probably should. I had Madden 2016 on Xbox, and
2006, a
and
lot has changed in 16. I will say that.
so I had that's what I had.
Completely
Okay,
different
and I
engine.
remember whenever I threw the ball. Okay, I could choose who I wanted to throw the ball to, and whenever I threw the ball, the NPC did the rest of the fucking work until he caught it. And then once he caught it, then I took control and I ran it to wherever the fuck I wanted to.
It's still like that, but now you have the ability to control whoever's running the routes and possibly that you can skilled players will always beat unskilled players in 2K and Madden. It's just how it is. Like you can't. It's a game that anyone can pick up and learn, but to get really good at it takes practice. Like you can't just. Yeah, it's you're game shaming, and I won't allow it. I will not.
I
I'm
mean,
not game shaming. I just don't think the skill level of playing a sports game comes compared to playing the games that we do that take a little more hand-eye coordination than just like selecting a play and then running it.
okay.
I would beg to differ. I think it's like playing sports games is like playing chess in my eyes because you got to know the team in and out. And I think you're not giving it enough credit, and I have to stick up for the sports
Honestly,
games.
I think the
I'll
best
be their
sports
voice.
games that there was, 100%, were the backyard football or the what's it called, the basketball or whatever.
Hey, is
Remember
that
that
a
where you could do the trick shots and stuff?
that shadow in their background gauge? Is that a corner?
The shadow in the background.
Yeah, is that a corner? Go put your nose in it. You're not allowed. You're not. You're not.
Okay, so I've only
Jesus.
played sports games whenever I was like PS2 era, right? Let's be honest here. Back in the day, I've never played sports games since then. I'm not a big sports person. I don't watch football. I don't watch any of that.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
it's definitely different than normal gaming, and I think it's great that those people who enjoy those can go play those sports games, right?
It is. It is its own genre. It is.
But it's just not for me, and therefore I don't watch it. I don't interact with it at all. You can be our like sports game person, our
See, I
SME.
don't keep up. I don't keep up with the pro scene of that side of
You
gaming.
know, yeah.
But
Well,
I will
you
say,
know.
like, dude, I used to like play the franchise mode on Madden, so you can simulate 10 years of players coming in and out of the league, retiring. Dude, I used to eat that shit up, trading and shit. Dude, I can't tell you how much time I wasted on Madden doing that. And Mutt, the Madden Ultimate Team, where you would start out with a really shitty team, but
And that's why you're not good at Call of Duty, because you didn't play Call of Duty. While we were all playing
First of
Modern
all,
Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, you were over there fucking trading fucking people
I didn't.
like
I-
fucking slaves in a fucking sports game. Okay, you piece of shit.
So I
Okay, and
played
that's why
Black
you're
Ops.
not good at that's why you're not good at Modern Warfare.
I played Black Ops. I played Black Ops 2. I hated Modern
Not
Warfare
enough.
3. I was a
What?
god. I was a god at Modern Warfare 2. A god.
A god, right? Mm-hmm.
I was one of those kids that ran around the map with an intervention, and all I did was no scope.
That's 100%. That's what I did all the time.
All I
loved
do
it.
is no scope
So,
and quick
I
scope.
have a question.
Yep.
What happened?
I spent 10 years playing League of Legends. That's what happened. And that was all on console. I never played that PC. So, and I will say, playing a shooting game on PC is a completely different world.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
So-
100%.
So my like gaming background, right? I started off playing really on PC. So I played like Call of Duty 1 and 2 and 3 all on PC. That's where I really got into gaming, and then went over to the like I had the PS2, so I played there for a little bit. It wasn't really a lot of anything though. And then I had the Xbox 360.
Gabe said, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't go. Look,
Yo,
there's
she
Gwen.
is racked. She is-
Racked out. But I played on Xbox 360, and that's where I really got really deep in the gaming, especially with Gage and all my buddies from high school.
Mhm.
But then yeah, I came back to PC. I always wanted PC. So that hey, Gwen is like racked out over there, dude.
Yeah, you got up and we
Oh, did you
just.
see her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, she's fucking out of it.
Is she
had
on
a-
the
she had a long
floor?
day at work. No, so we had a every now and then, normally like random days we'll have movie nights where we'll pull the mattress
you-
out.
If you make this a really long story about it's the floor, I'm gonna fucking stab you.
It's not a floor. It's our mattress.
It's our mattress we pull out to do movie night. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have movie nights and we
A pallet,
and
if you will.
we'll like so far right now what's on our list is we're gonna binge watch the Lord of the Rings extended edition.
Oh
And
god.
but this is actually like a day ago, maybe not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we pulled the mattress out here and we just haven't moved it yet. So
Alright, so you
yeah,
gonna sleep in
she's-
the living room tonight?
oh yeah, of course. I'm so there. I wanna-
Just drag it out and put her in the lake or pond or a river. Put her in the Red River down there.
That mattress is heavy. That mattress is gonna fucking sink. She'd be
Jeez.
pissed.
So I guess my question is, why don't you just get an air mattress for those days and just like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, because airing up an air mattress. First of all, I live in a one-bedroom apartment, so my bedroom is literally I can see it like right there. So it's like the taking the time for me to move the mattress into the living room is like equivalent to me sitting there blowing up an air mattress.
I like the way you described that because I mean, like, I could be anywhere in my house, but like, yeah, my bedroom's right there. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I'm
My
not. Like,
bedroom is
literally,
2 floors
it's-
up. And,
My
Yeah.
apartment is probably the
got a
smallest one in
single-story house.
Clarksville you're ever gonna find. You know, and it's right there. It's not
Hey,
that far. It's
so
like 20 foot from me. Right
you're moving soon, right?
Yeah, we actually I went and
So
saw an
I'm just
apartment
gonna
this
say,
today.
You want a
Ace,
house?
Ace can help you. Yeah,
Wow, look at
Ace
that.
can help you move. I'm gonna
You
volunteer
got a
him.
truck?
Huh?
Unless you got a truck, then you're not much help at the moment.
I was gonna say,
He's
how
got
much long you
muscles.
gonna be? How much long you gonna be here?
What, Clarksville and Fort
Yeah.
Camp?
Yeah.
For the next 2 years minimum.
Next 2 years. Boy, do I have a deal for you.
Oh
You
my
want to
God.
buy a house?
Well, not only that, one, I'll give it to you for the low, and two, if you don't want to do that, I'll rent it to you for the low. Like,
Oh
I
shit!
mean, the big thing. I mean, I don't know, bro.
That's the
but
great thing about the
regardless-
military,
yeah,
It is.
right?
It is.
You should know someone almost everywhere, and you can get deals on some houses and some rent.
bro. Dude, I'm not even trying to make money on my house, so I just had all my floors redone January, so
I don't know.
so I
This place
financed
we
that.
saw, it's a townhouse, but I went and saw it today. I went and looked at it. It's really nice. I mean, it's definitely a little bit high, but it's kind of
Bro.
worth it for the area. So
So you never made it out to my house.
No, I never made that. Oh, by the way, someone called me the other day about you, and we can talk about that off the air. But
Oh, I know what it was for.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's going really well, by the way. That
Yeah.
happened so fast. Like
Yeah.
I submitted all that paperwork like last week, and they're already like,
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
over it.
For what?
they're moving.
And we'll tell you after this.
Yeah, well, that's offline talk. But I gotta keep it mysterious for whoever's watching. No,
Donate to find out. Send out private messages.
Yep. um. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much all we got. You guys, we can keep bullshitting here for another 10 minutes, or
yeah.
we can kill it and go hop in a game before my wife gets
Oh
home.
shit! Yeah, what we gonna do some Call of Duty here?
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm done.
I
let's
mean, if we
just
do hop
bullshit
in a
for a little
game,
bit.
I don't plan on streaming
Yeah, that's
tonight.
bullshit.
Let's just
Yeah,
bullshit
I'm not-
a little bit.
I'm not streaming.
I don't have everything set up right now. We can
So
just
if
bullshit
anything,
for a
then
little bit.
Okay.
then you can hear you guys submits stream, and then he'll show you the scoreboard afterwards where I dominate and carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is going on? What you guys been up to?
We got a class graduating on Tuesday, and that's gonna be the last class of the year. So we're gonna have
Really?
over a month off. I'm pretty stoked.
That's crazy. They're gonna squeeze one in.
No, this was the they squeezed one in now. This is it. Like it's rough. Things are getting silly, man.
When is
It's
this?
getting
When
wild.
does it start?
Which one?
When does what start?
The class.
Oh, they
It's-
graduate next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, they got him in right before Thanksgiving now.
So we'll graduate right before Thanksgiving, and then we're done until mid-January. So
Yeah, I'll be submitting a packet for one of my soldiers here soon, for the January 5th class. Yeah. So if I need a helping hand, I'm throwing.
just hit me up. I got you.
Yeah, throw me a bone.
I got you.
That's
Because
crazy.
he's already
So-
wanting to get out, and even though I want to get out, I'm trying to keep him in because he's an awesome soldier.
So what?
So
what are
what
you
you're saying
guys
is
doing
you're a
for those?
dirtbag.
What are you guys doing for that month that you don't have any classes?
Anytime we have any time off, it is filled with the normal army fun,
Oh, yeah,
mandatory training, and I'm sure they'll find last time we had any time off, they put us all in a CLS class.
Air assault. You got your air assault yet?
No, and I'm not going to air assault school in January. Go fuck
Dude,
yourself.
that's so fucking weird that you keep saying that, and you've been here longer than I have. They force fed me that shit, and the fact that they're just like, like he can live without it.
Well, the unit
He's
I was
also not
in
in the
prior to
101st.
this, yeah. The unit I was in prior to this, we didn't give a shit about it, so
Amen. Preach it.
because it's not a real school.
I actually had someone ask me today, because I don't I'm not gonna lie, like I don't wear my air assault wings on my uniform.
I mean, if I
I
had it, I
did.
would want it.
I did before then the pin broke, and then I didn't care to go buy any. But
Wait,
in my
what?
UMO
Is your
class-
shit not sewn on? Jesus
My
Christ!
shit's not sewn on.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never
Oh
never
my
sewed on any of my.
God, I'm online with a bunch of dirt bags right now.
Oh, here we
But,
go. I'll wait till I get that
I had an
W01.
LT. I had a first lieutenant, so my UMO class is full of just like second lieutenants and like two first lieutenants, and then like a bunch of like E5s. And I had this second lieutenant ask me, he's like, no, first lieutenant. The first lieutenant asked me, he goes,
that
he
matters.
goes, so you're not you're not air assault qualified? And I'm like, what? And he goes, you're not wearing your wings. I'm like, yeah, I'm air assault qualified. He goes, but you're not wearing your wings.
So,
Doesn't mean I'm not air assault qualified.
so you know what
He
happened?
goes-
First day I showed up to my unit, right? I was airborne, straight out airborne, whoop-de-doo.
Hell yeah.
I was so pumped. My COSC comes down, is like, why do you got those on? Take those fucking wings off. Don't wear them again. Everyone here is airborne. It don't matter.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I told him. He goes, you should be proud to wear the air assault wings. I'm like, sir, I said, if I had Ranger, I said, or an SF tab, I said, I'd be 100% proud to wear that shit. I worked hard for that shit. I said, but whenever everyone on this post is force fed air assault, I said, there's nothing to be proud of. I
Yeah,
said, you're basically
exactly.
just following suit.
It's
Nothing to be
It's-
proud of.
the hardest thing about air assault school is the 12-miler.
It's not even hard. The hardest thing for me was getting over the fucking edge when I had to fucking rappel down. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared of heights. I'm
Yeah.
scared of heights.
I am too,
Bro,
but
like anything taller than
I
like
went
a 12-foot
airborne.
ladder, like I'm fucking scared, dude. Like I'm nervous as fuck.
yeah.
So getting over the edge was the hard part. Then once I actually was like floating in the air, that was the easy part.
So it's funny whenever I was in basic. So I got my airborne through basic, right? They had slots to give out, and that's how I got mine. So sitting there, and my drill sergeant was like asking, who wants air assault? I'm like, yeah, I do. I didn't even know really what it was about, but I was like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever. And he comes over to me. He's like, you? I don't know. I've seen piles of shit stacked higher than you. So I was like, oh, there's no way I'm getting this then, right? Because I'm only 5'3.5", right? I'll say that half every time because it matters. Um, so I didn't
You're
think I was
what?
gonna get
Five
it.
what?
5'3.5".
You're not 5'3.5".
Yes, I am,
I thought
100%.
you were like 5'6".
Oh,
I
here
think
we go. No,
5'6", dude. I'm 5'8", and like yeah, he's
I'm 3 inches shorter than
Bro,
it. Yeah, it's.
in
yeah.
my defense, Brennan, I haven't seen you in like what 3 years. It's been a
That's your
while.
own
He
fault.
actually needed a waiver to join the army for his height.
Yeah, here we go. No,
I'm
I
5'10",
needed a waiver
so
for my age
I
because I
tower
was
over both of
only
you guys.
17.
When he goes to get his picture taken for his CAC, they have him sit on phone books.
No, they do have to adjust the camera down. They like have
It's
to
like,
move it like, oh,
just
no,
go
he's
ahead and
short.
take a seat in the chair, sir. Oh,
I was
shit.
almost. I was actually like. I know you make fun of me for being a leg, but I was actually almost airborne.
Oh, here we
Almost.
go. I know you were.
What?
Here we go. This is like I almost joined the army.
No, I really was. Like when I was in AIT, I submitted a packet to go airborne, and then but I was on profile because I sprained my ankle running on that fucking Barton Field, and then I
Oh,
remember back in the army whenever you had recovery time after your profile ended. So whenever I submitted my packet and I was supposed to go about a week before, they said you're still in your recovery time of your profile and you can't go. So I was a holdover for like 2-3 weeks before I actually went to Fort Bragg.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Whoa, you were on Fort Bragg as a leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was life? That
I
must.
mean, I was also in an air defense unit,
Did
so
you go to the
like
airborne
my
PX?
my section of the post that was cut off from everyone else, like no one gives a fuck at all.
Oh, I mean,
And honestly, no one gives a fuck. Like the only people who give a fuck if you're a leg or not is 82nd, and them guys can go fuck themselves because they have their head so far up their ass.
can
It's ridiculous.
confirm.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
I will agree.
I've dealt with plenty enough of them at Fort Bragg to know that their heads are so far up their asses.
I
Plenty
can
of
honestly
people
say
have asked
that.
me that if
Yeah.
like, oh, you're airborne, you gonna go to 82nd, go to Fort Bragg? I'm like, no, I'll get rid of my airborne status if I get orders to
Yeah.
82nd.
I'll just drop a deck
Bragg,
statement.
I will cut off a fucking toe, so I cannot be airborne anymore as long as
I
I find
just
my place.
I just have
Especially
no
when I went to
desire.
BLC, dude. Like, because like obviously it took me like 5 years to get BLC,
Because
and
you're not airborne.
and then these fucking guys are like, yeah, I'm like, he goes, how long you been in? And then like everyone in my BLC class was like 2.5 years, 2 years, 2 years, 3 months. No, this, that, and the third. And then they're like, how long you been in? Like 5.5 years. They're like, and you're just now here? I'm like, yeah, because they don't hand that
That's-
shit out like candy, like they do to you guys.
I don't know, man. I've seen some people walk in BLC that lately, like, been in the army like year and a half because they got a waiver for specialists, and like they're already I don't know, man.
Don't you still have to have a time and grade though to get BLC? To
Well, it
be
goes off
E5?
of OML.
Yeah, it
Order
goes
of
by
merit.
priority. Yeah. Just you just get put in a priority list, and like.
First of all, if you've been in a year and a
can still
half
walk
and you're
in.
passing on people who's been in for like 3-4 years, then those people deserve it. First of all,
You can still walk on too. Like we take walk-ons. We take about. I mean, the number changes all the time, but we take quite a few walk-ons. Especially the way we do it now, because we do the PT test pickup day now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you come in, you fail, you're out. There is no retest.
That's nice. That is
Yep.
good.
We recently started doing that.
I like how
huge
BLC
fan.
got harder while aerosol got easier.
It's not harder. It's not harder. It's just like if you're meant to be there, you'll get
Yeah,
through the
I mean
course.
that
Like,
makes sense.
Yeah, but
So
that's the thing though with aerosol though. It's like even if you're not meant to be there,
Mm.
like you can come back within like a month and reinsert to the place that you wanted to go that you already filled.
Really? Mm-hmm.
You know that? Yeah. So like if you that's right. So like if you fail
no
day
desire.
zero, then your day zero drop and you have to redo the course, the 2 mile run, the layout, everything. If you pass the layout and you fell somewhere in phase one, well, then you restart at phase one. You show up at like 9:30 in the morning. Same thing with phase two. Same thing with phase three. The only difference is like if you fail the 12-mile ruck march, then then you have I think a year or 6 months or something like that to a year to reinsert to do the 12-mile ruck march.
That's why there's so many people doing the ruck
Crazy.
marches.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
not,
like
there's no way that class is that big. Like, there's no way.
yeah. So if you fail the 12-mile ruck march, you ain't got to redo the whole entire
I mean, I guess that's
That's
good,
air
but
air
it's
assault.
silly. So I think also you got to think Fort Campbell's not the only place that does air assault. So Fort Bliss does air assault school, and it's way
Fort
easier
Bragg.
than Fort Campbell. Fort
Fort Bragg
Campbell
does
just
air
makes
assault,
it stupid hard
and
because they want to.
well, I think it's
I don't think that's true because thing is, we had rare occasions in air in ADA land. We had 3 soldiers within 1 year that got accepted to go to air assault school at Fort Bragg,
Mhm.
and they failed because of the layout, and they got kicked, and they got they weren't able to go back.
yeah, but if you fail a layout, that's like not on the school, and that's not like to me like that's
That's a personal. That's a leadership failure.
I mean, nothing should
Yeah.
be if you fail at all, it shouldn't be on the school at all. It should be on you.
right.
Most of the time.
Well, it's
I've seen
like
a lot of weird shit
airborne
happen.
school, the 42 club. Come on,
Oh yeah,
41 club,
100%. That
whatever it
that does
is.
happen. That does happen because
I
you'll
don't know
have
how that even is.
Okay,
so
so
basically
go ahead, Aaron.
you,
You got it.
so you take a PT test when you get to airborne school, and you obviously as a male you need minimum 42 push-ups to or 43 push-ups
I think
to
yeah.
42. It's 42.
So you need it's the 41 club.
Yeah, you need 42 push-ups to pass your PT test. They can only slot so many people for that class,
And they take in a lot of people, knowing that
so
they're gonna fail some.
so it does happen to where they'll sit there at like 41, 41, 41 when you're doing your push-ups, and like yeah, you just didn't make the cut. Like
So
it sucks.
whenever
I've
I
never
went
seen
through,
that at air assault.
no, you
Whenever
don't
I
have
was in
that at air
phase,
assault.
yeah,
Well, you don't
and
have
when I was in
you don't have
phase
a PT
three,
test, right?
the phase one, no PT test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only PT test thing you have is or not even PT test, just like the physical challenges. You have a 2-mile run at the beginning. You have the obstacle course, the 4-mile run, the 6-mile ruck march, and a 12-mile ruck march, all within 10 days
Yeah.
of each
So,
other.
but that's the thing with airborne is whenever I was there, I was going through. I went through, did the PT test and everything, and I was doing push-ups, and he was like 41, 41. He did about 5 times, and he's like, okay, go, right? But there's definitely people that you go do the PT test, and
I
they're
just
like,
get
yeah,
screwed.
especially if
Yeah.
you're at the end of the line, like
Hmm.
we can only take so like they know, okay, I gotta fail 3 people out of this line, so
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, air assault is completely different. When I was in phase three, phase one people that were coming in, they had like over I think 120 people in the same class, and like we were all in the and you've been to the air assault school. We were all in the gravel area. They had people extending into the actual grass area. They were so fucking huge. It was such a huge class. It was crazy.
I bet they were huge.
yeah.
Did you try to take a joke? I don't appreciate that.
I mean, he did already admit on
Why
stream that
it
he's
didn't
into
happen?
gods.
Wow. All
It
right.
is true, bro. You do you, bro.
Okay,
Just do you.
people. Thanks for watching, everyone that
Yeah,
watched. This has
yeah,
been a great
100%.
time.
Yeah.
We will
Had
definitely
fun.
be back on next Wednesday, same time, same place. Make sure you like, follow, share. Everything's appreciated.
One
Make sure you follow
more.
Never Delete, Ace Alone, and Never Submit. They're all linked inside the description of this post.
And also another shout out to our sponsor, our Blessed
Boom.
Homestead. They sell custom T-shirts, signs, and organic goat soap. There's also in the description. Go check them out. I think it links to a Facebook group, but there's also their Etsy pages on there. Awesome people. They're gonna be hooking us up with some shirts here soon.
Hell yeah.
So thanks for watching, everyone. It's been a great time. Follow us so you can catch us next week, Wednesday, same time, same place. Peace
Yep.
out.
Later, AC.
All right. See you guys.